The Andrews Sisters, a trio woven so tight they seemed like a single entity. But remember, every harmony has its price, and this one, it held secrets that would shake the world. Beneath those smiles and songs, a labyrinth of mysteries remained hidden. One sister's solo journey left jaws on the floor. The stage wasn't just for songs. Manipulative men played their part too, orchestrating the highs and lows of these iconic sisters. From Minneapolis came Patty, the cute blonde, Maxine, the charming brunette, and Laverne, the sizzling redhead. Together, the Andrews Sisters ruled the 1940s American airwaves with their melodic harmony. Their success was wholesome and extraordinary. These pop divas with their humorous slang were able to win the hearts of millions of music lovers. But behind the scenes, the girls struggled to overcome greed, envy, and internal backbiting that came from individual rendezvous, from bad romantic choices to jaw-dropping scandalous secrets that no one saw on screen. The Andrews Sisters, a trio of absolute musical magic. They didn't just sing songs, they whipped up a unique sound that rocked the charts and set the stage on fire. Their energy was off the charts and their harmonies utterly unforgettable. They were an absolute phenomenon of their time. They brought heartwarming harmony to life. Their songs weren't just tunes, they were like a musical journey, blending country-style melodies with classic jazz and swing. People didn't just listen, they felt the music, and it became a cherished part of their lives. They were also known as the Boogie Woogie Bugle Girls because of their iconic song, Boogie Woogie Bugle Boy. It's a blast from the past that still rocks today. They were ahead of their time, paving the way for what would become the legendary rhythm and blues genre after World War II. They soon took their act to the stage and a colourful new height to their fame, singing and dancing around the stage in rhythm to tunes. In this video, we're diving deep into the Andrews Sisters' untold secrets. Behind those catchy tunes and bright smiles, these gals had a whole lot going on beneath the surface. But wait, there's more. We're sharing the reasons behind why they actually broke up. Imagine selling a whopping 75 million records and then calling it quits in 1953. Yeah, one of the sisters went solo. And though they did come back together, times were changing, and so was their harmony, thanks to a certain man. Ever wondered why the two sisters rebelled and turned against each other? This is going to blow your mind. It's your chance to connect with these ladies as people. Don't miss out. If you're a senior today and you think you know a bit about the 1940s and classic American tunes, you've surely come across the Andrews Sisters. Their impact on wartime America was so strong that their heartfelt lyrics could even soften tough GIs who were far from home. Their fame led them to Hollywood, where Universal Pictures brought them on board, but the studio missed out on their creative potential, producing only a few budget musical comedies. All these were happening at a time when the average American society was searching for social direction. The Andrews Sisters filled the gap with one hit record after another, which they began with Bei mir bist du schön. We can't also forget Beat Me Daddy, 8 to the Bar, Rum and Coca-Cola, and others. They produced over 400 songs to the wonder and delight of their teeming fans. The Andrews Sisters trio, characterized by Laverne, Maxine and Patty, may have been a perfect match made in heaven. The voices you often hear are a mixture of the perfect synergy of these angelic ladies through what I call magical renditions. How were they able to achieve this? Their musical magic captivated the audience. Laverne's deep voice blended seamlessly with Maxine's high pitch, all while harmonizing perfectly with Patty's vocals. The epic harmonic tunes, produced by this coercive unity, delighted and charmed young and old Americans. There's no doubt that the sisters were straight shooters, and their music, well, it's as clean as a whistle, giving us those G-rated vibes and a glimpse into those good old American tales of loyalty in relationships. But those unique harmonies no doubt influenced every group, including sexual freaks who shadowed them helplessly, and their impact extended far beyond their music, the reason they are seen today as pop culture icons. Their conventional values didn't hinder them from using their sweet melodies to uplift and free the minds of those with different mindset. Even soldiers on the war front found solace in their lyrics, bringing rejuvenation amidst the trauma of combat. And maybe I should also add that their songs provided enough hope for a better tomorrow. No wonder the Andrews Sisters' influence on American society is still relevant in today's music. If you know what these lovely ladies were up to, you'll see why they were even ahead of Elvis Presley and the Beatles. They had more top 10 hits than these music legends combined. But beyond their glamorous display of talent and the seductive smiles we see on screen, the girls struggled with personal skeletons in the cupboard that fans never knew. After many years, the sisters now at peace, having moved on to eternal glory, we've learned how these girls managed to keep their secrets hidden from the world. But let's start at the beginning. How the three sisters began is a tale of hard work and perseverance. Born and grew up in the Minneapolis neighborhood, their childhood was somewhat colorful, with summers spent in Mound, Minnesota, located west of Lake Minnetonka. Their father, Peter Andrews, had a fascinating background. He was originally named Andreas, a Greek immigrant who Americanized his name to Andrews when he came to the US. Peter's Norwegian wife, Olga, was described as a lover of music. Laverne was the eldest, followed by Maxine, who was famously known as Maxine, while Patricia adopted the name Patty. Growing up was a combination of fun and determination for the girls. As early as possible, Laverne already played the piano and soon taught her sisters to chant in harmony. I heard that both Maxine and Patty never had any formal music education. They learned choruses at the Vaudeville Arena close to their father's eatery. As they honed their skills, the young girls hit the road, performing their creative songs alongside bands in various amateur shows and vaudeville acts. Their road to success as teenage girls was not an easy one. They roamed the vaudeville and radio circuit under the strict supervision of their parents. When Peter Andrews relocated his family to New York, their mother Olga was busy looking for singing dates for her teenagers. Often they got no from those they trusted for assistance, with some saying that the girls sing too loud and they move too much. Their mother was not the type who gave up easily on what she believed, so she persisted. With about $15 weekly pay income from radio shows, the girls kept pushing until fortune smiled on them. They got a contract with Decca Records. Their resolve was enough to see them through to fame. After those initial disappointments, they saw light at the end of the tunnel. Their first song, Bei mir bist du schön, an old Yiddish tune, was effectively done. Armed with a recording contract and a new manager named Lou Levy, along with the idea to translate the song into English, their hit skyrocketed and propelled them into the spotlight. From that point on, it was a journey of triumphs, with Broadway fame on the horizon. Lou Levy, their manager, had a special place in his heart for the group, and Maxine Andrews in particular. In fact, his admiration for the sisters' music grew into something deeper. Their father was pushed out by Levy, vehemently opposed the relationship due to his anti-Semitic views and financial concerns. This early scandal sent shockwaves through their career. Peter gave up the fight for control because he was not ready to lose a daughter to Levy, who became her newest heartthrob. He was also aware of the fortune in view, which he did not want to spoil. Right from the start, the Andrews sisters found themselves embroiled in a series of conflicts that set the stage for the turbulent journey ahead. But it wasn't just family disagreements that brewed trouble within the group. Behind the curtain, the complexities of romance fueled a lot of the underlying tensions among them. Maxine's divorce from Levy and Patty's first marriage falling apart showed a pattern of rocky relationships within the group, and even though Laverne seemed like the fun one, there was more going on behind the scenes, adding even more drama to the mix. It's pretty interesting how personal feelings and hidden tensions can shape even the most talented groups. That's exactly what happened with the Andrews sisters. One of the sisters lived a two-way traffic life. The American public saw her as a treasured icon of 1940s patriotism, but it's a different scenario with her personal life. She kept many secrets away from the public that would have traumatized America and by extension ruined the sisters' legacy. Fans saw the three sisters as a single entity, and their strength, of course, was in their unity and the way they glued together as a team. Like anyone else, the sisters, despite their heavenly harmonies, found themselves straying from their close bond to pursue their individual paths. Unfortunately, the result wasn't so sweet. At a point in their career, greed, envy, and self-confidence took over. They struggled with constant disagreement from one issue to another. It became an obvious sign that would mark the beginning of the end of the sisters. They broke up in 1953 when Patty decided to go her separate way by launching a solo career. Pretty interesting, right? I always get this vibe that it's like destiny for groups to end up this way. There's usually that one person who decides to go solo down the line. I bet you can think of loads of other bands that ended up in the same boat. It's kind of bittersweet. On one hand, you've got someone with big dreams wanting to try their luck on their own. It's all about tackling new challenges and growing as an individual. But then on the flip side, it often spells the end for the whole band, that family-like unit, total harmony breakdown. So what's your take on this? Would you make the call to go solo, even if you knew it'd shake up the whole group dynamic? I can still recall Patty Andrews, the youngest and lead vocalist, and let's not forget the main joker too. Her energetic jitterbug moves used to light up audiences, especially the servicemen stationed overseas. The sisters shined on the radio, at stage shows and other times touring fixtures while the war rages. But when Patty left for a solo career, even without informing Maxine or Laverne, it was a serious taint on their highly celebrated unity of purpose. As you might have guessed, things didn't go well after that. They faced a big, angry backlash, and it turned into a messy 2-year battle for their earnings and even their family inheritance. By implication, the sisters did not always get along with each other, as they seemingly displayed on screen. Are you ready to know what was in Patty's mind? That solo move failed as Patty realised that she could not do it alone because fans wanted to see her sisters each time she was confronted. This is also what she meant when she told fans that it is frustrating not to be identified by her true personality, but by the group's image. "Where are your sisters?" they would always ask her. Even in times of award, it was just one status that was given to the three, and Patty once recalled that it was irritating, but whether that was one of the reasons she decided to go solo, I would not know. But it was obvious that at some point she wanted a self-identity for herself. But about 3 years later, the trio reunited again. What's your take on this? What convinced Patty to have a change of heart? Was striking out on her own too intimidating, or did the weight of high expectations make returning to the sisters seem like the safer option? It's captivating to ponder, but now let's plunge even deeper into the situation. What exactly was the cause of the feud between the sisters? No one can say precisely, but there are hints to that. You know, where there are 3 women, there's bound to be a man, and that man, well, he can stir up a whole lot of trouble. I heard that after Patty married Walter Weschler, who was a pianist for the sisters, sometime in 1952, he soon metamorphosed to becoming their manager. One major outcome of that was that he requested more pay for himself and his wife Patty. The idea was dead on arrival, as it triggered reasonable protest from the other 2 sisters. They strongly opposed it, and the public found out through lawsuits, a showdown of 2 against 2, the couple versus the 2 sisters. It so much disorganised the sisters that at a time Laverne and Patty no longer talked to each other. There were other things that Patty looked back on too, like the sad passing of their parents. Maybe having them around could have kept the girls closer. "We had been together nearly all our lives," she said before sad stories hit them. "In 1 year they lost their mother and then father, and their world came crashing down, as if their age-long dream had ended. 3 of us were upset. We were at each other's throats all the time," Patty remembered. As they say, everything that has a beginning must have an end. As time went on and music tastes shifted to new trends, the sisters found it tough to keep up and adapt. It was quite the challenge. Things took a bit of a turn in their careers when their internal conflicts became public knowledge. The close-knit harmony they were known for seemed to shift into a more open discordance. To say the obvious, the sisters' feud had escalated to the extent that some of us got to know about their secret. But these amazing ladies kept on performing together, even when the odds were against them, hoping for things to improve for a couple of years, but unfortunately that didn't quite happen. Their final show as a trio must have been an appearance on the Dean Martin show, before news went round that lovely Laverne Andrews had died of cancer. Amidst the strain, the shocking demise of one of the sisters, sometime in 1967, expectedly rocked the group's performances. It was not an easy thing for them to get a suitable replacement for her. As such, it became a matter of time before Patty and Maxine went their separate ways. But before they parted ways, they kept performing together for a bit, clinging to the memories of their past success. Sadly, things never fully regained their former glory after Laverne's passing, and in a bittersweet twist it appeared that pursuing their paths separately was the only viable choice they believed they had. We got to learn about a bitter financial dispute, which was said to have led to the cancellation and closing of a particular show in 1975. Precisely, the two girls had been part of a Broadway show, Over Here, which ran for about a year plus before a dispute with the producer led to the termination of the national tour of the show. It also ensured that the two sisters did not perform together again. Things had gotten even messier for them, which some person said was the last straw that broke the camel's back as the sisters pursued solo careers. Thereafter, they never truly reconciled again. While Patty continued to do her solo shows, Maxine took a separate route and soon became a staff of a private college in South Lake Tahoe, California. Their split was a matter of necessity, at least so it seemed. Just like Patty, Maxine sustained herself as a solo artist until she died in 1995. During the time they were apart before Maxine passed away, the two sisters only had a handful of brief meetings over the years. Maxine was quoted as saying, shortly before she passed away, that her split from Patty was one of the few regrets she had in life and her career. Patty Andrews was the last remaining Andrews sister. Before her recent passing, she kept the music alive as a solo performer, putting on shows and embracing the extended life she had. Her first marriage with Martin Melcher was just 2 years before she fell for Walter Weschler. Melcher, as I said earlier, used to be an agent who represented the Andrews sisters. Patty and her second husband remained married until his death. She also found later success in Las Vegas, coupled with a few TV variety shows. Isn't it intriguing how even the closest of bonds can't shield us from the clutches of envy and greed? We might expect that the three supremely talented women bound by blood would forge an unbreakable connection, but as we've seen, life has a way of throwing curves, especially when men and fame enter the picture. As a group, the only career frustration could be traced to their movies at Universal. They were used in less expensive movies, as such were not as glamorous in movies as they were with their songs and dancing fame. But let's not forget the indelible legacy the Andrews sisters have left behind. Their impact was nothing short of extraordinary, and it reverberates to this day. These pop icons didn't just entertain, they united people with their catchy tunes and uplifting harmonies. It's quite the feat to imagine a time when their songs could soften the hearts of battle-hardened soldiers stationed far from home, and think about it, they were trailblazers shaping the very essence of rhythm and blues before that genre even had a name. The sisters' journey is a reminder that behind the glitz and glamour lies a story of real people with real struggles, from secret romantic entanglements to behind-the-scenes conflicts. Their lives were a whirlwind of successes and setbacks. So the next time you hear those timeless melodies on the radio, remember the untold story behind the Andrews sisters, a story of love, rivalry, dreams, and a bond that, despite everything, managed to create a musical magic that will echo through the ages. If you're intrigued by more captivating stories from the past, check out our next video, How Dolores Del Rio Wrecked Anyone's Happiness for Hers. Our Age of Vintage channel guarantees entertainment, so next time you're on YouTube, remember to click on our channel for captivating stories that span the ages.